Hey there, son folk. Today, I'm going to tell you what material and how to make carpet graphics. Specifically, these are for bass boat carpet graphics, and then these are just some boat numbers for a kayak buddy. But anywho, so this is basically what I have laid out. I am not sponsored by any of these guys. I am not paid by any of these people. I do not have authorization to sell any of this artwork here. This is not mine, and I am not making a dime off of it. The only reason why I'm doing the video, I have a friend that is sponsored by these people, and with his authorization, he is letting me do a video so I can show you guys basically the material that I'm using to make these bass boat carpet decals, which seem to be pretty popular. I see a lot of people talk about how to install them, but I don't see a lot of people talking about what they're using. So my material of choice is, of course, it's substance, and because I'm partial, it is the 444 LSE print laminate, and this actually has the flow. Doing carpet graphics really doesn't make a difference whether you have flow or not. The flow will come in handy if you're doing them on like a solid hard floor. If you're doing it on carpet, it really doesn't matter. But the important thing to remember is that you have to use a high tack media, and it needs to be laminated with a textured over laminate. And I use the Substance Icon, the TL6100 over laminate. It's a 6mm textured clear vinyl. And so these are the two materials that I'm going to be using to make these carpet graphics. And so the stuff will get printed on here, and then we're going to laminate, and then we're going to cut. So stick with me, and we're going to get these guys loaded and printed and laminated. All right, so here's my file. Using Flexi 12, I think. I can't even remember. Yeah, Flexi 12. Oh, sorry, that was too fast. All right, so we're using Flexi 12. And to get this file printing, I select all, go to RIP, and in my output settings, I just use my 540 by 720 profile. That's typically all that I would ever need. I'm going to set my cut speed and should be ready to go. All right, so I have to print two more of these. I don't know why, for whatever reason, the black did not print on here, which is kind of the whole reason why I put all this extra stuff in there too, but I really needed those there. Like I said, for whatever reason, it doesn't show on the whatever. So I'm going to try to print two more of these. It should be good. One of the good things about the Substance, they offer it in a 30-inch by 30-foot, 10-yard, and both the laminate and the laminate and the media. Try to get this situated here. I'll put the link down in the description, so that way you guys can try some of this material. Like I said, I'm not sponsored. Substance does not. I'm not compensated any way, shape, or form. It's just really good film, and I would rather buy from them. Like I said, they're a little bit smaller company, but they're still big enough to send stuff all over the place again. So here is a video of this is the laminate. It's pretty clear, but it's just got a texture to it. So like I said, the texture makes it anti-slip. So if they get wet, they're not gonna like slip and slide all over the place. So back over and try to make sure these come out correctly this time. All right, so this will sit here for about an hour because I'm printing eco-solvent. I'm not sure how latex works. I have no knowledge of latex, but I know that the solvent takes a little bit to cure up before I laminate it, but just want to give you guys a little sample of the print quality. Like I said, this is 54720, and of course this is kind of a junk file. This is a JPEG. The same thing with this one too. So I did what I could with the resolution, but the important thing is that one, and kind of zoom in there and see some of the saturation of the black is crazy. But anyhow, next thing to do is get it laminated, and then we get it in the cutter. Make sure to get any dust and dirt off of here. Now this laminate actually has one of the clear release liners. So pull this away like I normally do. The laminate's 6 mil, so it's pretty thick. Okay, so I got all that separated, and I'm going to use my big squeegee again. There you go. Obviously, it's hard to get a little bit of light on it, but you can see the texture. Matte finish there. Next thing to do is throw it in the cutter and cut it. Okay, so got my material loaded on my Graphtec 8600 Vinyl Express Q54. Same thing. I have my force set to 26, my speed at 30. The rest of the settings just as they'd be as you know, you're cutting regular vinyl, except for the force. And of course, I did a couple little test cuts there. That was at 21. Couldn't even pull it out. It's 25. That was 26. Again, it's 6 mil lam, so you might have to, you know, adjust your settings and also slow the cutter down. So on Flexi, here's my cut file. I'm going to try to hold this steady. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to job properties. And when you're in here, I just want to make sure that my cut contour, like I said, I slowed it down as much as I possibly could. Make sure all that's off. Okay, so from there, it should be good. It might take it a bit, but it should be ready to cut. And the reason why I'm doing these numbers for his kayak on the high tack, because it's a low energy plastic. I think you can use regular vinyl on the kayak as long as you heat it up, but I figured I'd save him some trouble and just go ahead and print them out on the high tack. So okay, so now the weeding part, I'm going to trim off some of this stuff just because it makes it a little bit easier to handle. I like to trim off at my crop marks, it's just me. I'm telling you, this stuff is like super sticky. So All right, so here's another little sample of when you're selling, and this material is on the substance icon. It's the 444 LSE with the flow, and it is the TL 6100 laminate. So this is the textured laminate. Now, the reason that I'm showing these is so you can see how much this material actually shrinks. So these decals were done about 4 years ago, and I'm going to try to do this with maintaining everything in focus, which it's not really focused that much. But you can see this gray outline out here, and you can see it all the way through. It's probably a little bit better here. So this decal is actually shrunk about an 1/8 inch all the way around. The material, don't pay attention to any of this because that is not existent. We are not in Maryland anymore, and that website doesn't even work anymore. So essentially, these decals are about 4 years old. That's when they originally printed, because we've been in our new location. I haven't done, anyways. I can confirm that these are about 4 years old, and that's how much shrinkage that you're going to get out of this material. Because the 444 is a calendar product, like all calendar products, it's going to shrink a lot faster than a cast product. I don't know if they make a cast high tack material, but this will give you guys some information with how to warranty and life expectancy of some of these decals if you actually use this material. And people ask, I tell them, it's good for a year and it stays on there a heck of a lot longer. Thing you got to remember is the longer they stay on, the more that adhesive gets into the carpet. But on new carpet, like I said, I've pulled it up and it doesn't leave any residue, which is the great thing. So you can assure your customers that when you pull it up, it should be fine up to a year. I wouldn't warranty or say anything more than that. So hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit more, kind of give you a little bit of understanding as far as what the material does and the difference between a cast and a calendared. So again, you can see that gray line right there. That's where the adhesive and the laminate first started. The laminate, I'm not sure if it's the laminate that shrunk or if it's the media that shrunk, but both of them shrunk at the same time. Basically these have been climate controlled. These have not been outdoors. So you're probably not going to get that kind of, you're probably going to get a little more shrinkage when it's outdoors, but